Hello, everybody. Welcome to TGIF Trade Geeks. It's Friday. Today is April 18, 2025. I am Mari Maturino, aka Mari Quiroz.
So we've all been experiencing this past several months, the Section 232 tariffs imposed by the Trump administration have really, caused a lot of turmoil and got a lot of people up in arms and basically a lot of uncertainty. And, today here we're going to cover in this week's video a little bit about the Section 232 duties. And the main ones are basically the IEEPA, the fentanyl tariffs, the steel and aluminum, the reciprocal tariffs, and then the automotive tariffs. And these are called stacked tariffs, and they're stacked tariffs because they're combined together. So they have a very, very big impact or effect to the customer's bottom line.
First question we have here for you is, what are the Section 232 tariffs?
Okay. What is Section 232? Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962 authorizes the President of the United States, which is Donald Trump, to adjust the imports of goods or materials from other countries if the quantity or circumstances surrounding those imports are deemed to threaten national security.
All right, and how do these tariffs apply to aluminum and its derivatives?
Between 2017 and 2018, the Commerce Department conducted an investigation into American steel imports, finding that the quantities and circumstances of steel and aluminum imports threaten to impair national security as defined by Section 232. U.S. Secretary of Commerce reported that the quantities and circumstances of steel imports were weakening the U.S. internal economy.
So how do I determine if my aluminum imports are subject to these tariffs?
These tariffs are imposed on the product according to the classification. Depending on how the product is classified, then Section 232 is subject to the product. That's why it is very important that your product is classified correctly. The disadvantages for Section 232 is that you cannot do a drawback to try to claim duties, but you are able to process TIBs, and they are allowed for Section 232, but you need to make sure that any bond posted must be sufficient to cover all relevant duties, taxes, etc., including Section 232 duties.
Today's topic again is on Section 232 tariffs. And, we've been suffering from a lot of turmoil here lately in the last couple of months. We've always been getting a lot of calls here. Everybody here on our team gets calls every day about these tariffs. And right now we've got a lot of tariffs on our radar. We have the fentanyl tariff, the IEEPA. We have the steel and aluminum tariffs. We have the reciprocal tariffs. And then also we have the automotive tariffs. So all these tariffs are called stacked tariffs because they're all piling up on top of each other. So, we always would like to share what things are available out there to help customers. Right now we're going with our customers. We're reviewing their parts list. Mari's on the team here, making sure we look for ways to help the clients answer their questions so that they know how these tariffs will impact, and then also how we can help mitigate some of them. I think some of the complications to the businesses have been that, they're faced with the additional cost, and how do they handle with that additional cost? Also some of these tariffs for some companies are difficult to calculate. That's another thing. And it is impacting their profit and loss. And then, thirdly, the other thing is that, some of these tariffs, specifically the derivatives for the steel and aluminum, it makes it very difficult to comply. And I think those are the things that are being faced right now by the importing industry in the United States.
Yeah, so basically what we have done from the last couple of days is a reclassification of the STSs on most of the clients, especially how it's been affected on the new tariffs and the stacking tariffs specifically. And how can we can minimize the impact of the tariff by using the Chapter 98, use the foreign trade zone, use the TIVs, and all to compile a strategy to minimize the impact of all these upcoming changes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Austin Garcia, and I'm the lead here in technology, culture, and innovation here at TradeFlex. Our team is always hard at work, so we can keep it simple so you can be nimble. Here at TradeFlex, we help you with many things, such as tariff engineering, warehousing, and import-export. If you ever need to find us, you can find us at www.trade-flex.com. There you can find our videos, our blog posts, as well as contact information. And remember, here at TradeFlex, we're always here to help you out. Goodbye, everybody.